Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. And today I'm going to do a game giveaway. I think it's time to do something like this. Have had great support over the past 4 years. Have a collection of great people that come and watch the channel because they're into retro sports games and have been over the years, just like I have. So it's been YouTube's been a great ride so far. Just connecting with people. That's really what I like most about it. Connecting with like-minded people. What's up, Troy, in the chat? So I'm going to do a game giveaway today. So the way it is going to work is I'm just going to show you the games that I have to give away. I have 10 games. Well, I have actually 11. So I have 10 games I'm giving away, and the 11th one is a little bit more coveted, or might be a little bit more value to it. So that one I'm going to have a trivia question for. So the way it works is it's only one game per person. So if you're in this live chat now, you're going to have first dibs at which game you want. But once you say you want that game, then that's it up until the 11th game. Anyone's eligible for the trivia question and the final games. What's up, Antonio, in the chat? So before I get to the games and which ones I'm giving away, just a channel update. Later on today, we're doing the Family Christmas Eve Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. I believe this is the 15th year that we are doing the Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. So we should be streaming probably around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll see how many people that we have joined from the family this year. Our high is 14. Our low is 6, and that was because of a snowstorm. So we usually have at least 10 to 12. So we'll see what goes on and how many we get for that tonight. The other thing is, on January 4th at Demon Tap, we are throwing a free tournament. This is the 3rd year running that we're doing it. It's a Retro Sports Gamer Championship. Basically, the goal of the tournament is to find out who the best retro sports gamer is. So we have 2 previous champions. The first one is myself. We did it in this basement. And then last year, it was Green Magic. The second year we did it, and it was at D-Men Tap. This year, it's 5 games. We added a 5th. It's Tecmo Super Bowl, NHL 94, RBI Baseball, NBA Jam. It should be the arcade cabinet. Picking that up for my friend sometime in the next week. And then NFL Blitz on Nintendo 64. So we're going to figure out who is the best retro sports gamer. And the first place prize is $300. So last year was also $300. Last year what I did to get the $300 to give away, since it was a free tournament, is I sold some games. So this year, I'm proud to say that the $300 is coming from YouTube ad revenue. Now, it took 4 years to get over $300 of ad revenue on YouTube, so it's not like a great way to do it, but it is growing. So the more people engage in the channel, watch everything, come hang out, watch the training videos, watch the tournaments, the more we'll be able to jack up the prize for the Retro Sports Gamer Championship. So it is free. It's at Demon Tap, January 4th. We should have a second place prize based off of the entry fees from the NHL 94 Super Nintendo tournament on December 30th. So that's $10 if you want to play at Demon Tap. So there's a lot going on that we're doing as far as throwing tournaments. So I just wanted to get those out there. Yes, tune in Monday as well for the NHL 94 Super Nintendo tournament. We should have about 10 to 12 people there. And there's some guys coming from Elmhurst, I guess, some ringers. Light Blue says, Jam Blitz. Enough said. I'll be watching. Okay, so now it's time to give away the games. Looks like we got Shell Bay in here too. So let me know which game you want. So this is the way we'll do it. If you get one of these games, just email me. My email is retrosportsgamertom@gmail.com. So it's retrosportsgamertom@gmail.com. Let me know what your address is. I'll send you the game. All right. So what's up, Adam, in the chat? So the first game I'm giving away is on the Sega Genesis. It's this game right here, ESPN Sunday Night NFL. So there's a Monday night game on Super Nintendo. On Genesis, there is ESPN Sunday Night NFL. There's a few of these games that I don't know that much about and haven't played too much. This is definitely one of them. So if anyone wants this game, let me know. If you're not live and no one claims it, later on you can always comment in the video if it hasn't been claimed, and we'll send it your way. So ESPN Sunday Night NFL, good game to explore. Here it is. That's the first game we're giving away. Second game is one that was made by Midway in the arcades, is Super High Impact on Sega Genesis. So this one, it's arcade style. It's not. It kind of looks like Tecmo Super Bowl in some ways. It's a horizontal field. I would say the passing isn't as developed as Tecmo Super Bowl. It's kind of like, it's a little bit more random where they throw the ball than having an indicator where you know exactly where it's going to go. But Super High Impact, there's an arcade cabinet for this game as well. This one's ported by Arena. Just a little backstory on this one. Brian, who plays in the Retro Sports League here in Chicago, he was like 0 in, I want to say 30, maybe close to 40 games. And the first game that he won was Super High Impact, I think versus my brother at Galloping Ghost Arcade. So it was the first game he ever won in the Retro Sports League. So if you want Super High Impact, let me know. That's the second game I'm giving away. So the third one is actually on the Mega Drive. It is Tecmo Super Bowl Special Edition 2. So I figured it was a good time to give away this one because there's all these clone consoles out there on for Sega Genesis, for Mega Drive, so you can actually play this. I'm not 100% sure if this will play in a regular Mega Drive or not. So, we have the first game claimed by Troy GB Land. He says, I want Tecmo Super Bowl 2. And I know Troy's going to be able to play this one because he has the analog Sega Genesis system, which I'm assuming also plays Mega Drive. So this is the third game. This one's claimed already. So the only other one that Troy can claim is the last game I do. But anyways, this one should play exactly like the Sega Genesis version. I know it's usually like a $15 game or so if you buy it on eBay. The one on Super Nintendo is actually a bit more rare and will cost you about $60 to $70. All right, so that's the third game. We've got a few more people in here. Ted Belcher, Gotta Be Retro. All right, the third game, or no, this is the fourth game now, is actually on the Nintendo 64. And the reason I'm giving this one away is because Troy actually hooked me up with a box copy of this one, but it's a WWF Warzone. I recently played through this game on the channel with Stone Cold Steve Austin, as you see here, and did the Challenge Pyramid. This game is very underrated. It doesn't get as much love because the Aki games, the THQ games were some of the people's favorites, but this one did a lot well, It had announcers. The wrestlers talked and taunted. It has a fighting game control style, but it is a good game. I mean, you could look up the moves pretty easily, and it's fluid, even though there's more button combinations than playing the THQ games. So WWF Warzone, I'm giving away this one. So if you want it, let me know. I got this on launch day for the PlayStation 1. I remember it was July 24th, and I actually needed it for a birthday party I was having, which was all wrestling games that my mom threw for me. And we played 3 of them: WrestleMania, the arcade game, WWF In Your House, and then Warzone came out the day before. So, yeah, I played a lot of it on PlayStation, but I would say the 64 one is better these days just because of load times. There's basically no load times. And the other thing is, this version has a Royal Rumble in it, whereas the PlayStation does not. So it's kind of a cool thing. So we still got 3 games that need to be claimed, so let me know if you want those. The next one is from a White Sox player, the Big Hurt. Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball. This is on the Super Nintendo. So, throughout the 90s, a lot of the games were in the title had an athlete, and this one was Frank Thomas. It went across basketball games, baseball games, football games, but this one is a Big Hurt. There's a lot of Ken Griffey games made during this time period, so maybe a lot of people haven't experienced this one, but it is a good game. It's the graphics look good. It's a little bit zoomed in. I'm gonna play this one soon because I have to refresh my memory on what exactly I think about it. Codename saying Shaq Fu. Shaq Fu's not one of the games I'm giving away, but that would be a good idea. I have the Michael Jordan Windy City game. It's a platformer, so I'm waiting for a time to actually stream that game. It's obviously not sports, but it is very closely related, as Michael Jordan plays in it, and you got to do like dunks and stuff to get through the levels. All right, so the next game, and this one is Minty Crisp, and this is a fan favorite of a lot of people of the Nintendo era. It's Double Dribble, made by Konami. Now, Double Dribble is one of those games that people like to talk about as one of the best basketball games of the past. Now, for me, I don't necessarily feel that way about it. I didn't get to experience it until later on. So after you've played NBA Jam as your first real experience playing basketball game, it's tough to go back to something like this. What I know about this game, like every quarter starts with a jump ball, and there's like a spot on the floor we could just keep draining 3-pointers. So this is another game I'm giving away. Let me know if you want this one. All right, the next one is also a Nintendo game, and it's a black box one. Merry Christmas to you too, Know Your Bro, and everyone else. Which game have you not seen in any game store, Antonio? Let me know. So this is a black box Nintendo game. It's baseball on the NES. Pretty common game. A lot of these black box games are. So this one, it's a classic baseball game. Nothing too special about it. There's tons of baseball games on Nintendo. My first experience was playing RBI baseball. So for me, going back to this one, it's solid. It gets the job done, but it's not as good as RBI baseball. But it is a good game on the NES. So if you're looking for a baseball game, let me know. This is the next game I'm giving away. So just let me know in the chat if you want any of these games, and I'll send them your way. All right, so let's look at this next one. This is a more recent one. And it is NHL 16 on Xbox One. So I also have this game on PlayStation 4. This is the one I played the most as far as the next-gen era. It has Jonathan Toews on the cover when the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. I think, actually, Patrick Kane was supposed to be on the cover, and then something happened where he was getting sued for doing something. But yeah, Jonathan Toews is on the cover. Had a lot of fun playing this one PS4 with some friends. You could pick your different type of player online and play together. So this is a good game. So, you know, a lot of people don't like some of the newer ones, but this one I had a good time playing. So if you want this game, let me know. NHL 16. All right, two more, and then the final game that has a trivia question to go along with it. So these next two games were revolutionary football games. If you look back in time, these two are good to fill a collection. You know, not the best. They're pretty common games, but they're good ones. So this one, Troy actually gave me a bunch of copies of this game, and so I'll still have 4 of them in case we'll ever do a tournament. But it's not Tecmo. I think we know that one is a revolutionary game. Okay, so here it is. NFL 2K on the Sega Dreamcast. This was probably the first game to blow people away. Hi, how's it going? So we got a little bit of a special guest again. All right, so yeah, NFL 2K Sega Dreamcast. This is one of those games like Tecmo Super Bowl that everybody would play because they were just in awe of how it looked. So, you know, NFL 2K, I didn't have a Sega Dreamcast on launch, but I had friends that did. My story playing this game was going to my friend Will's house. I wanted to play this game so badly. I finally got to go to his house, and he was so mad about losing in the game that he already broke multiple controllers. So he only had one controller left to play with. So we ended up, you know, switching off quarters or something. I didn't get to play him. But that was my experience with it when it came out. This game is still excellent to play. Like, this is a really good football game. It's still a little bit raw as far as some of the features surrounding the gameplay and the rosters, but it is a really good game. If you need it, let me know. It's yours. So let's take a look at the chat real quick. Nostalgic Gamer says, I thought it was going to say Joe Montana. I do have that game, and I should play it and stream it. Joe Montana. Sports Talk Football. I have that one too, I believe. But yeah, when they started talking in the games with the commentator, that was pretty incredible, especially for the Sega Genesis. Nostalgic Gamer saying, only thing it didn't have was franchise. All right, Large Man comes in. He says he has a Dreamcast. He would love NFL 2K. So it's yours, Large Man. Just email me your address. I'll send it your way. It's retrosportsgamertom@gmail.com, and we'll get this game to you. It's a good one to play. Played it recently on Thanksgiving versus my Uncle Jimmy. It was a fun time. It's a game I'll always go back to, and hopefully we get a chance to throw a tournament in the game. All right, so 2 more games. This one, believe it or not, it stepped it up graphically even more than NFL 2K. And I could still remember the commercials for this game. And I just could not believe what I was seeing as far as the graphics. And that's the first Madden on PlayStation 2. This one was very revolutionary as far as how it looked. One thing I like to say about this Madden game is they didn't put a ton of effort into like how each player looked as far as their facial features on the under the helmet, but the player models looked incredible. That's where they put all their effort into, and it just looked better than anything we ever seen. Now, we did do a tournament in this game, and it still plays really well. Now, there's a couple drawbacks because this was the first one, of course. There's a couple drawbacks where it's pretty easy to throw bombs in this game. So if you like throwing bombs, I mean, who doesn't? You're going to be successful on a lot of them. You might even do the one-handed catch. Quite often you see that animation as well. The other thing is the routes that the players run aren't that crisp. So, yeah, sometimes you try to throw an out route or a comeback and they just go deep. So certain routes aren't that crisp, but it plays really well. And I'm just was in shock with how different this game was versus what they were putting out on 64 and PlayStation, because those games didn't really look that good. They played a lot different, and this game set the foundation for all the good PlayStation 2 games, Xbox, and GameCube. It was good when it came out, and they just built on it ever since. So this one was one Mort picked up. I don't think we'll be doing a tournament in this game ever again, so I still have a few more copies of it, just because the feedback was that there's better Madden games to play on PlayStation 2. So if you want this game, let me know. Okay, so we went through 10 games. We got 2 of them claimed so far. So since we have some people in the chat here, I'll go through them again. Just let me know if you want any of them. Madden 2001. NHL 16 on Xbox 360. Baseball on Nintendo. Double Dribble on Nintendo NES. Frank Thomas's Big Hurt Baseball. WWF Warzone N64. That's right. Retro Sports Gamer Tom at gmail.com. So put that in there. Retro Sports Gamer Tom at gmail.com. We got Super High Impact on Sega Genesis. And then ESPN Sunday Night NFL. So those are the games still to be claimed. So if you watch this afterwards and you're in the chat right now, if you watch it afterwards and no one's claimed these games in the comments, feel free to do so. They're yours. Okay, so this last game is a little bit different. Maybe something you haven't seen before. And I have a trivia question to go along with this. And everyone watching now is eligible to get this game, even if you claimed one of the other games. What's up, Chris Listig? Yeah, no problem. We'll get you these games. So this one is NBA Jam Tournament Edition 2K17 on the Super Nintendo. So this is a ROM hack by Hogs with a Blog. So it has updated rosters. And, the Golden State Warriors are unbelievable in this game. The Cavs. Other good teams throughout the NBA. This one, my brother picked up in Canada. He told me he saw it and he didn't get it. And I was like, how much is it? He's like, it's $40. I'm like, you got to get that because I don't know. I pronounced your name right. I guess I pronounced some words right. So yeah, this one, it cost $40. I played it. I set it up at one of the events at Michael Anthony's that we did. Just a retro game night. Set it up for some people. People were playing it. We had the 4-player adapter going with it. We had a good time with it. The one thing about this specific ROM hack is when you go to the option menu, it actually crashes, but everything else works perfectly. And there's secret characters in the game like Michael Jordan and other legends, Charles Barkley, didn't actually look up all of them, so I don't want to say that there's guys in the game that aren't, but I know Jordan's one of the guys that you can get. So, yes. So if you want this game, you have to answer this trivia question. So for this trivia question, I do want the full names of these two players. Adam in the chat saying he wants Madden 01. Yep, it's yours. Madden 01 is yours. And he said it right before Super Lions, so Adam jumped the gun, and he'll get it. But Super Lion, there's still some other games to be claimed. So yeah, I need the full name of the two guys that I'm talking about for this question. So here we go. Shoot. Who are the two players in the original NBA Jam arcade cabinet on the Dallas Mavericks? That is the trivia question. Whoever gets it right with both their full names, I'm sending NBA Jam Tournament Edition 2K17 for the Super Nintendo. Nostalgic Gamer says Jamal Mashburn. That is incorrect. Jim Jackson, that's a good guess. Those guys are both in NBA Jam TE on the Dallas Mavericks, but not the original NBA Jam arcade cabinet. So just story. Well, you know, if this goes well, if people want these games, then I could always do this again. The great thing about Nostalgic Gamer loves the trivia. Big Willie 54 is onto something. Yes. Okay, so Big Willie 54 said the correct answer. And he didn't say the first guy's last name properly, but it's close enough. So the two guys are Mike Izzolino and Derek Harper. So Big Willie 54, you get this game, NBA Jam Tournament Edition 2K17. So just send me an address to send it to my email address, retrosportsgamertom@gmail.com. The game is yours. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, Mike Izzolino, like the Dallas Mavericks were really bad when that game came out. And Mike Izzolino I wouldn't even consider him a role player. It was pretty much a shock he got into the game. I don't know if it was a troll thing that the Midway guys were doing, but if you look up his stats in his career, you're going to be like, how did this guy get in NBA Jam as the two best players on this team? Derek Harper makes more sense. He was a good, solid point guard in the NBA for a long time and then played on the Knicks later in his career. But, yeah, Mike Izzolino, I don't know how he got into the game, but good for him. I mean, the other thing is, too, a lot of people know those two guys because if you play NBA Jam arcade cabinet, the Mavericks are always the first team you play against. And they're both short guys, so, you know, it's sometimes an easier game if you could get past the rubber band AI. So my story about the NBA Jam arcade cabinet is my mom used to take me to the local community college for some classes and basketball camp stuff that they were running through the summer. And they had a cool community center for people who went there. And they had arcade cabinets, and one of them was NBA Jam, and I'd never seen anything like this in my life. And I was definitely attracted to the machine, which is what the attract modes are for on the arcade cabinets. And I convinced my mom to actually give me 50 cents to play through a quarter, which is not something that she would normally do. So I must have really was on her about getting to play this. Played with the Orlando Magic, who have Shaq, and it's the only game NBA Jam game Shaq is in is the original arcade cabinet, and Scott Skiles. Nostalgic Gamer wants NHL 16. So, yes, you can have it for sure. Also, please let me know in the email which game you get. Put in the subject line just to make it easier. I could always go back to the video and figure it out, but I'll make it a little bit easier. Large Man says, sent email, Tom. Thanks again. Turning out to be a good Christmas after all. Happy holidays. Sean Bradley always got dunked on. Yeah, he's a skinny guy, but he always challenged the dunkers. Thanks, and yeah, that's how I knew the duo. They were the first team you play if you insert new additions. Gotta be Retro says he'll take ESPN Sunday Night NFL. It's all yours. No one's claimed it yet, so it's good. We got 5 games claimed so far, and we still got 5 left. And Big Willie 54 was the big winner with the NBA Jam 2K17. I really like the game. It's just I don't go back to the ROM hacks as much to play as I do the originals. So I think you'll have a good time with it, exploring the rosters and trying to unlock the hidden characters. But yeah, NBA Jam, that was the game that really got me into basketball, video games, just the sport in general. Like NBA Jam was like, wow, this is incredible. So that's going to pretty much do it. Got through the channel update. The other thing, guys, let me know if you can make the Retro Sports Gamer Championship. I know not everyone who views this channel is in the Midwest or the Chicagoland area. Yeah, Gaming Trucker. Gotta be Retro says he's got a Tecmo Super Bowl 3 2020 NES card. Yes, free game giveaway. That's right. I still got 5 games left. But yeah, the Retro Sports Gamer Championship. It's a $300 first prize. It's free to play in. Not everyone's in Chicago or the Midwest. Hopefully the tournament can grow to a point where it's something that people would consider traveling to play the decathlon of the games that we play. Right now it's more localized for the people who are around the area and the guys who play in the Demon Tap Tecmo League and such. But yeah, anyone's invited to it. So just let me know if it's something that you can make. So Gaming Trucker, since you joined late, I'll just go through the 5 games I have left. If you want any of them, you could just email me at retrosportsgamertom@gmail.com and send me an address to send it to. Super Eye Impact for Sega Genesis, WWF Warzone and Nintendo 64, Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball on Super Nintendo, Double Dribble, a minty fresh copy of Double Dribble. It's in great condition. And then Black Box game Baseball on Nintendo. So just let me know. Those are the games that are left to claim. So once I end this, just claim them in the comments of the video. But thank you everyone for following the channel. You know, playing these games throughout the course of, you know, my life is just, it's been a passion of mine, and I'm glad that I get to share it now with everyone through YouTube. So it's fun. I appreciate all the comments that we get and everyone that comes to view when we're streaming all these different games. There's a lot of sports games out there to play, so I'm going to continue playing them, giving my opinion on them, talking strategy when I can, when I'm better at a game than some others, and just keep trucking along. So that's going to do it today. No problem, Big Willie. He says, thanks again, man, free game or not. I'm so glad I found this channel. Madden 05 today, no. We're doing the Christmas Eve Tecmo Super Bowl tournament, which will probably go live in about 5 hours. So Central Standard Time, about 5 o'clock, I'm thinking. So tune into that. There'll be time throughout these next few days to do some Madden 05. And Merry Christmas to you too. Gotta be retro. Okay, guys, I am leaving for now. Thank you for joining the live stream. And we'll see you guys later on tonight for the family Christmas Eve Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. Take care.